So after a long couple of days, it looks like Charlie Kirk's assassin has admitted to what happened, has confessed, and not in the way that you would actually think. And this ties back to something a few days ago that I thought was very, very interesting and something I see corporate companies do a lot. That's really, really frustrating, and that's called internal investigations. So Discord did this the other day, and Discord is finding out really fast that you just can't keep everything under wraps. If you don't know, Tyler Robinson, the assassin of Charlie Kirk, was active on Discord communities and talking to people on Discord. And it's rumored that up to 20 people had knowledge of what Tyler Robinson was planning and may have very well helped him. That's the scary ass thing about this. And stuff's coming out every day about this. And it's getting very, very spooky. People are getting fired all over the country for expressing their glee that this happened. And I think that's rightfully deserved. And I'll let you know why later. But these things are a little unrelated. But he has confessed to the crime. We're going to go over it here in just 2 seconds. So please make sure you like this and you share it with your boys. You comment down below. And I know I'm not my usual peppy self, but it's just nothing to smile about right now, damn it. So first and foremost, Discord launched their own investigation into themselves, and you can guess how that went. Discord has denied Charlie Kirk's suspected killer Tyler Robinson used its platform to formulate his plan to gun down the conservative figure, contradicting comments made by state and federal officials. Yeah, I don't know how Discord thought that they were going to hide this. Because some stuff has come out today, just now, like 20 minutes ago, they kind of conflict with everything that Discord is trying to say. But what corporate companies have a very bad habit of investigating themselves and coming to the conclusion they did nothing wrong. They're actually totally cool. It's totally fine. This was popularized by Amazon, looking into all these crazy rumors with people having allegations on video. And they're like, oh, we did an investigation. Actually, totally nothing going on. It's totally cool. Don't worry about it. We looked into ourselves and found we did nothing wrong. And that doesn't work anymore because you can't hide everything, baby. It says the social and gaming platform said in a statement that its servers were in no way involved in Robertson's alleged plot, nor in any correspondence regarding the hiding of evidence after the fact. Now, you're going to see them using very, very specific language to make it to where they can have plausible deniability, right? Well, he didn't plan every single little tiny piece of evidence on Discord. Therefore, Discord was not even remotely involved at all. And I'm not saying Discord should be held accountable. They maybe more moderation. Maybe that's kind of what people are wanting, but like that they're trying to avoid anything and everything possible. In the course of our investigation, this is Discord investigating themselves, by the way. We identified a Discord account associated with the suspect, but have found no evidence that the suspect planned this incident or promoted violence on Discord, a spokesperson for Discord said. The messages referenced in our recent reporting about planning details do not appear to be Discord messages. Shocking. It says these were communications between the suspect's roommate and a friend after the shooting, where the roommate was recounting the contents of a note the suspect had left elsewhere. Shocking. So it's always the plausible deniability angle. It says Robertson, 22, was turned in by his own father and arrested on Thursday night over the shooting of Kirk, 31, at his American Comeback tour. Kirk was shot in the neck moments after making comments about mass shootings, with horrifying footage showing him recoil from the impact, and he was pronounced dead at the hospital. Robinson's roommate told police the suspect had discussed the murder weapon and his movements after the killing in an online chat room, Utah Governor Spencer Cox said Friday. And that's the dude right there. So you can already get the gist of the context here. Discord's trying to pretty much absolve himself of any kind of responsibility for anything, which I'm totally going to understand from a corporate company's perspective. That's what they're going to try to do. But some stuff has just come out to kind of put a wrench into this whole plan they had, right? Put a wrench into the whole ass plan. Now, if you don't know all the evidence that's come out, I've talked about it on my live streams that I do. There's a lot of evidence, and the evidence is very concrete, and the evidence is pointing in one direction, but you're going to see a lot of people online trying to formulate some kind of narrative so they don't lose some sort of ounce of power. In my complete opinion, this was probably the worst thing that could happen to people wanting two parties to fight it out somewhat fairly, I guess you would say. I don't see that being a thing for a long time because everybody online is just making an ass of themselves right now, especially liberal commentators and people that are paid to post, for the DNC online as well. All of it's asinine and ridiculous, in my opinion. Look, man, I'm sorry, but after going through all the evidence, the confirmed evidence, you're not going to be able to convince normal people or anybody for that matter that doesn't already want to believe you that this guy was like a far right maniac. I'm sorry, not going to be a thing. Okay. It's very apparent where his motivations lied. Now, does that mean everybody that falls under that banner is insane? Obviously not. But that's what they're trying to avoid. They're trying to paint it as, oh, this is actually conservatives taking out conservatives. It's crazy how this works. Can't believe this happened. It's totally unexpected, right? So, but that's neither here nor there. My advice would be to stay offline because all it's going to do is radicalize you one way or the other. And that's never a good thing, in my opinion. Right. I mean, there's people there's a couple of you right now that are in the comment section typing as hard as you can because you're pissed at what I just said because you want the truth to be something else other than it is. And that pisses you off. And I totally get it. Well, what about this weird thing that I heard on an anonymous board here? Yeah, I get it. I totally understand. So, but I digress. So I'm about to show you something that has comedic timing, and I don't intend on it to have comedic timing, but it really, really does. So this is kind of what happened to the whole Discord nonsense today. So you can see right here, it says, Discord says platform not used in suspect's murder plan, nor was talked about, nor was promoting violence, right? That's the story right now. That's the story they gave a couple days ago on September 12th. Let's just click over here. Hot diggity damn. In quotations, it says, it was me. The suspect in the Charlie Kirk shooting appeared to confess in Discord chat. I'm sorry for all this. Read a message from the suspect's account according to two people familiar with the message and screenshots obtained by the post. So you can see the plausible deniability angle that they were looking for, right? Discord completely hid the fact that this dude had already confessed to the killing way back when the killing had happened. And Discord's like, we've investigated it and found nothing. Please, totally don't sue us. Don't arrest us. They should be subject to some kind of criminal investigation for sure. It's a company though, right? So look, for the sake of not sounding any dumber than I already am, because I'm very sick. I've been really down and out about this whole thing. It's been really frustrating to see, and it's been really frustrating to watch friends that I grew up with somehow be okay with brutal political assassinations and violence. And I'll never understand it. People will, on the outside looking in, will say that they think I'm a conservative or something to that nature, which maybe I lean more that way nowadays than I ever have. But if I saw this happening to a liberal like commentator, I would be so mortified that this is happening. I would think it was the grossest thing possible, and I wouldn't use the action to try to score political points like talking about gun control right after I say thoughts and prayers. That's insanity. It's a complete fabrication and using some tragedy to try to get a few likes on Twitter. And that's gross, man. Like, can't we just be like, you know what? Political violence is bad. And that should not be a thing that we ever, like go towards or ever seek out, right? Especially not in the way where it's just a guy talking to people on college campuses or what have you. You know what I'm saying? But it's got me bent out of shape because, every day we're all out in public, and as a creator myself, and having dealt with swattings and death threats. I got like 8 death threats on Instagram the other day just because I accidentally went viral on an app called Threads that I didn't even know existed. It's just somehow they posted, it's like connected to another app that I posted on for the first time in a long time, and then it went viral on Threads, and people wanted me dead. And I just don't see how they think that that's a reasonable course of action, how anybody thinks that's a reasonable course of action. It's kind of insane to me. But a lot of people think that. Upwards of 40% in a recent poll of people that identify themselves as on the left think it's okay to assassinate their political rivals. That's an insane number. That's a big number. And I think it's only going to get worse in the future, especially when the narrative starts to break down. It's looking pretty damn spooky. And it hit me in a weird way where, I was at the gym, I was at a meeting, and then I saw the news that it had happened. I went to the gym and I tried to not think about it, tried to bottle it down. Don't think about this. This is, because I know it probably doesn't seem that way to a lot of you, but this is one of the most devastating and unexpected, shocking things that's happened in my lifetime. And I know we're used to things just being crazy all the time, but this is a really big deal. So I pull up in my driveway and I just sat there for a minute with the engine running and I just started to break down in my car. And I can't even really put into words as to why I felt that way. There was just a lot of things going through my mind all at the same time, and it just messed me up. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people went through a similar experience, and it's hard to put into words why this specific incident is affecting everybody the way it's affecting everybody, including me. It's very interesting, and I don't really get it, And to be completely fair to y'all, there are people getting fired for voicing their glee that Charlie was assassinated, and I do think that is a reasonable outcome for these people, because I think they don't understand. People think in black and white a lot, right? And they think, oh, well, you think cancel culture is bad, therefore you using the same tools, that means you're evil. Now, for one, there's only so many times somebody can turn the other cheek and just let you roll all over them and use rules to get you fired, lit up, assaulted, or killed. Okay. There's only so many times people are going to turn the other cheek and just use those rules against you. It's called setting a precedent. Now, that being said, liking a tweet in 2012 of a goofy meme and then getting fired in 2020 because somebody anonymously emailed it to your employer is not the same thing as dancing on camera and celebrating that a person got shot and you saying, God, it was so satisfying watching him bleed out on the floor. Those two things are not the same thing. One is an appropriate action for a fireable offense, in my opinion, because A, it's on social media, and B, you're a psycho and you shouldn't be around children. That's how I see it. There's a lot of stuff coming out, and I just kind of wanted to voice my thoughts because I haven't talked about it in video form. So this is kind of all over the place, but you guys understand. I would love to hear what you think down below. Get the hell on it, doggone it. I love you. I appreciate you.